Do you?
That was Stacy Keibler's WWE debut exactly 2 years ago in Baltimore, Maryland. And now Stacy joins us on the phone. If you have a question for Stacy, you can call us live at 888-LIVE-WWE. But let's waste no more time. Let's get right to the phone. Stacy, how are you? You're on the phone with Josh Matthews and Dr. Tom.
Good. Hi, guys. How are you?
How are you today is a question. We understand
I'm great.
You understand you're out looking for a new car, huh?
Yes, I am. I've had the same car since I was 16, and it's starting to fall apart on me, so I finally have to get a new one.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Stacy, let me ask you something real quick. Does a new boyfriend come along with a new car? I mean, we've seen the latest troubles between you and Test and Scott Steiner. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I guess everybody will get to see what happens on Sunday at the pay-per-view, because I'm anxious to see exactly who's going to win this match as well, because I have no idea. And it's going to be a different change of pace either way, I think, for me.
Well, Stacy, what do you think about Bad Blood itself coming this Sunday from the Compact Center in Houston, Texas?
I'm really excited to see, honestly, I'm really excited to see what the turnout is like on the buy rate and everything, since it's our first Raw-only pay-per-view. So
right.
I think just as many of the fans and many of the wrestlers are too, I'm anxious to see how it goes. I think it's gonna go over well.
Well, go ahead, Dr. Tom.
I was just going to say, Stacy, obviously, since you've been here in World Wrestling Entertainment, you've accomplished quite a lot. You've been in some various matches. You've also come along and come to the ring with Test. And now it seems as though you're in this triangle of sorts. And this Sunday at Bad Blood, it's going to come down to you either being in the services, so to speak, or I don't want to say servicing, but I will, servicing either Scott Steiner or Test. And if I can put you on the spot for a second, who would you rather service?
Well, Scott does treat me a lot better recently than Test has been treating me. But I don't know. I think that storyline-wise, I think there's a lot to do with both of the guys on TV. I think that you haven't seen the last of Test and Stacy, and you haven't seen the last of Scott and Stacy, no matter what turns out at the pay-per-view on Sunday.
I know we all can't wait to find out what's going to happen this Sunday at Bad Blood, but Stacy, quickly changing gears, we have been getting emails and letters here to the office, just compiling all over the place. 2 questions.
Okay.
Will you ever go after the Women's Championship? And 2, will you ever pose in Playboy?
The Playboy question first is, I don't think that Playboy is a route that I want to take. I think that Tori looks beautiful, and I think that that's one of, Tori's always wanted to do Playboy since I met her 3 or 4 years ago. And that's just not something that I think that I want to do. I'm a Catholic schoolgirl, so I don't think, I can never say never, but I really don't think that that's something that I'll do. But as far as the Women's Championship, hopefully, I'm trying to learn more and get more experience. I'm definitely not up to the wrestling level as the girls are right now, and they're doing an amazing job. They've really stepped up to the plate as far as women's wrestling is concerned. So I think the more that I learn and the more experience I get, sure, I would love to have a shot at the women's title.
Very good. Let me ask you a question, Stacy. I know you're on Raw, but do you get a chance to watch SmackDown ever?
I do. Here and there. I can't say I watch it every week because I usually only have 2 days to get everything done that I'm home those 2 days, if that. And but I have been watching. I watched this Thursday, as a matter of fact.
Right. Well, my question is, Sable appearing on SmackDown now, and of course last night, for anyone who saw SmackDown, we saw the arm wrestling contest between Mr. McMahon and Zach Gowen. But of course, before that contest, there was an arm wrestling match between Mr. McMahon and Mr. America, in which Sable provided a pretty
exposed herself.
Yeah. What do you think about the return of Sable and the spot or position she's in right now on SmackDown?
I think that Sable is a great entertainer. She knows how to work the mic. She knows how to work her body. I think she has great sex appeal. I give her so much credit because I hope that I look that good when I'm her age. And in meeting her, she was really nice, and I've only got the chance to meet her two times at the pay-per-views that we've had together. But she was very nice to me, and I enjoy watching her on TV, and I enjoy her character, and I think the men really enjoy her character.
Yeah, no doubt.
She's quite the sex pot that none of us other girls have turned out to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stacy, we saw your Stuff magazine shoot, and have you seen the finished product as of yet?
I have, and I'm like so excited about it. It is by far that is the thing that I'm telling. I usually am a little modest about things, and magazines come out and stuff, but all my friends are getting copies, and my family and everything. I'm so excited because it's definitely a different kind of sexier Stacy, I want to say, right? Did you see it?
I saw it. It looked tremendous.
I loved it. It was great. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really happy that I got that opportunity to do that.
Going back again, early in your career, you were Miss Hancock in WCW. Do you miss playing that part as well?
That was such a great thing. I mean, that was, I have to say, even though I'm still young, that was when I was such a baby. I had no idea about the wrestling business. I mean, I still don't know a lot, as much as I have a lot to learn, but I knew nothing. It was a great role to come out and not say too much and take some notes and dance on tables. It was perfect.
Not bad. We'll take that.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's go to an email question here from Sonny of Lowell, Indiana, which is about 5 miles away from my hometown. How did it feel to be a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens, and was it a joy to see the Ravens win the Super Bowl a few years ago?
That was, I have to say that everything in my life has kind of been a stepping stone to something, because I was a dancer since I was 3, and then I was a cheerleader in high school, and then I tried out for the Ravens, and the dancing experience that I learned and performing in front of people at the Ravens helped me to win the Nitro Girl contest, which helped me to get here. So it's really kind of weird how everything kind of been snowballed, but it was such a great experience. I didn't know anything about football when I started, and I love football. I have season tickets to the Ravens now, even though I don't get to go very much. And I actually had, because of the traveling schedule at work, stopped cheering the year that they won the Super Bowl and got to go as a fan, and that was even better than being a cheerleader. So
very good.
That's great, yeah.
You look like you have a great opportunity on Raw. Obviously, you've got to enjoy the feeling coming out and hearing the crowd go nuts. And having two guys fighting you over can't be that bad as well, huh?
It's the best feeling in the world to walk out of that curtain and just feel the excitement in the crowd and see the signs and see people cheering for you and everything. I mean, that's the reason, I think, one of the reasons why we all live for this business, and it's great. And if everybody could just experience that once, it would be so cool for all of our fans. But yeah, I mean, it's great. I love where I'm at right now with work and with my storylines and everything, and I'm having a great time.
Tremendous. Well, listen, Stacy, we'll let you get back to car shopping.
Okay, thanks.
Can't wait to see Bad Blood this Sunday and what's going to go down between Test and Scott Steiner and where Stacy ends up in the whole mixture of things.
Are you guys going to be there?
Oh, yeah. Leaving tomorrow, bright and early.
Dr. Tom, are you going to be there?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Okay. So I can watch you get your hair cut again?
Yeah, I don't think so. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, bye, Stacy.
Funny story. Stacy didn't have a clue. Not that she should, but didn't have a clue who I was, what I did, why she should. Of course you did, right?
Of course.
Sure you did. Okay, let me put this over here one more time. Anyway, as I said...
You got a funny story, eh?
That was it. She was. I was getting my hair cut one night at the arena, and she walked in, and Bubba Ray Dudley was trying to explain to her, and she didn't have a clue. It's not that funny. It was just something that I thought maybe you would get.
It was hysterical. I can't wait. We still have Chris Jericho and Shawn.
Hey, you ever had your head put in a toilet?
No. We'll also have Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels joining us on the show today.
Hey, CW Billy or whatever your name is, thank you very much.
We've got Shawn Michaels All Things Are Possible T-shirts to give away on the show today.
Do we have a copy of that, or do we have?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to give them away throughout the year. We got 3. Let's give one away right now, shall we, Dr. Tommy?
Why
Would you
not?
like to read the trivia question for all of our fans out there in the Mike
sure.
This World?
You mean the? Okay, here's the trivia question, I guess. Which of his WrestleMania matches did Shawn Michaels recently say was his all-time favorite? If you know the answer to this very, very special trivia question, you'll get an All Things Possible T-shirt.
Yep. Email all of your correct answers along with complete name and address to bitethis@wwe.com, and you'll get a new Shawn Michaels All Things Are Possible T-shirt as soon as possible.
You watched David Brinkley growing up, right?
Who?
Yeah.
Who is David Brinkley?
Right.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Dr.
No, you
Tom.
don't have a clue what I'm talking about, Josh. That's why you should study David Brinkley's his style, his approach to things. You, on the other hand, are probably like Tom Brokaw.
I don't know who David Brinkley is.
You don't?
No, and you're really just slowing this show down to a grinding halt.
That's what I do.
I know. Well, Draws will be joining us as soon
And
as
I flush
possible.
rookies'
We'll
heads
talk
in the toilet, too, when I
Who?
get a chance. Rookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
whew. Nice working with you, Dr. Tom.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk to Draws. I think we have Draws on the phone right now. Let's. Hey, Draws, what's up? Josh Matthews and Dr. Tom, how you doing?
Well, not too bad, guys. How's it going there?
Draws, I'm drowning here with Josh sitting next to me.
Dude, I bet.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I'm sorry, Doc.
Yeah, I am
Too-
too.
Yeah.
The youngster, man, he's doing well, though.
Youth is
Draws.
wasted on the young, man. This punk doesn't know what he has yet. I don't think
Uh-oh.
he's been. Yeah, I don't think he's been hung up by his ankles yet and beat with a wet noodle.
Well, there's always time for that.
Yeah, there is.
You have to, and if you have to find time.
Oh, don't worry, we will.
That's
We'll,
the spirit.
we'll all be in Houston this weekend for Bad Blood. We have Shawn Michaels a little bit later on today, and I got to ask you right off the bat, Draws. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, do you think it's going to live up to all the hype and expectations?
I definitely think it will. I mean, you know, Flair's been, like we all know, he's been around a long time, but he still gets out in that ring and puts on a great performance. And of course, you know, Shawn, never-ending showstopper, and he'll. I think those two together, it'll be a treat for the people to watch. I think when they get together, there's going to be some great chemistry, and I think they're going to put on an unbelievable match for the people to be happy about, cheer about, and be on the edge of their seat.
No doubt. Top to bottom, Bad Blood looks tremendous card. I mean, it's the first Raw exclusive pay-per-view, and I mean, Draws, I got to ask you, who you pulling for in the Hell in the Cell World Heavyweight Championship match? Triple H or Kevin Nash?
Well, I'm pulling for Kevin Nash. Actually, Hunter gave me a win last week, or on that last month's pay-per-view, actually, and I was, I think, whatever, 6-0, 7-0, so I did well, but now we have Hell in the Cell, and I'd love to see Nash take it to him, and of course, having good old Mick Foley back as a special guest referee is an added treat.
No doubt about
So
that.
I'm really looking forward to this match. I'm sure the fans are. I mean, but you know, the one thing I'm really happy about is the fact that it's a Hell in the Cell, and pretty much anything goes. So, you know, if a sledgehammer comes out this time, there's no DQs or nothing of the sort. So it'll definitely be interesting.
Hey, Draws, you get a chance to watch Raw the other night when Mick Foley came to the ring and Triple H came out and made it clear that there were still some hard feelings there. Do you see Mick Foley being able to be impartial in this match?
Well, I'm hoping that he's not. I think Mick can be impartial, but I'm hoping that he's not. I'm hoping he's leaning towards Kevin's way after what's going on with him and Hunter in the past. But I think Jack he'll do a great job. You know, hopefully, keep it somewhat down the middle. But like I said, if he leans a little towards Kevin Nash, I wouldn't be upset.
Do you think we'll see Mick Foley in the ring again as a wrestler?
Ooh, well, you never say never, but I'm hoping that Mick will stay out of the ring. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing him in there, but he's given, I think, everyone in the industry more than enough highlights the last 10 lifetimes. So I'm hoping he can stay out of the ring, stay healthy, and enjoy. And I love the fact that he came out with his sweatpants and his flannel again, and just being Mick, and he travels light.
Well, something that won't be taking place in the ring, of course, is the Redneck Triathlon between General Manager Stone Cold Steve Austin and his co-General Manager Eric Bischoff. We know that they'll be eating pie, but Dr. Tom tries to explain to me all the time what a Redneck Triathlon is. Dross, what else are these guys going to be doing?
You know what? I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be doing in the Redneck Triathlon, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but of course you have to give the advantage to Austin because he is by far, the biggest redneck of them all, and that's definitely not a bad thing. That's a good thing, actually. So this will be of great entertainment value for the fans.
Yeah, I think so as well, especially in Houston, Texas. But we know that it is going to be a poontang pie eating contest, or I'm not sure exactly how they're going to.
I'm wondering how they can get that on tape.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we have a couple of those on tape, Draws. But that's
what? I bet we do. As a matter
Thank you very much.
Dr. Tom.
Yeah, I'll have my own camcorder there as well, Josh.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe we could see some of the stuff here on Bite This, like an exclusive.
Maybe you could take that ring off your thumb and put it on your nose.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Draws. That was not. That's just
place
Josh.
for it.
Yeah. Draws
Right
loves
here on-
piercings as well.
I know.
Yes.
Draws all about the piercings.
Yes, he is.
That's right.
Hey, Draws, real quick. Josh doesn't know who David Brinkley was.
He didn't know who David Brinkley was? Why did you not know who David Brinkley was?
Because he's a punk. He's a punk, man.
This
is what I put up with every Friday now.
Doc, I think you need to take the boy out and teach him some things.
I think I need to do what you did to Mark Henry with him. But anyway, that's another story, too. You know, with Mark Henry, when you had your special training with Mark over in the studio.
Well, yes.
After eating Indian food,
I had the Indian food with you and your brother, and then Mark said, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah, Josh knows what we're talking about.
This is your favorite part of the week, let me just say. Josh, before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your weekend, what can we expect on 2 Cents this week, the column?
Well, I have to get my picks in there, of course, and I actually beat the coin. I brought the coin in last week. I'm flipping a coin and making my own picks, and I did quite well last month, so we'll see how that goes. And then, there were a couple things from SmackDown last night that went real well, and I'll probably talk about those.
Sure, I'm Menace. We're looking forward to it. Draws, have a nice weekend. Thank you for joining us each and every week here on Bite This.
Guys, you take care, and you have a good one.
You do.
All right.
Yeah, SmackDown last night was awesome, by the way. The ring collapsing with Brock Lesnar and the Big Show. I mean, who knows what's going to happen this upcoming week. Kurt Angle is supposed to take on the winner of that match. There was no winner. There was no contest. So now what happens? Does the Big Show get a rematch? Who does Kurt face? I mean, do these three have a triple threat? Of course, Sable dropped the bomb that the U.S. Championship's coming back to SmackDown. She let the cat out of the bag on that one. Hey, the cat. A lot of things happened on SmackDown last night.
Let me ask you a question. Did you get to see the unedited version of Sable during the arm wrestling contest last night?
No. I saw the edited version.
The unedited version?
No, I didn't see the unedited version.
Why not?
I don't know.
How come?
I saw.
You know what, though?
Listen,
can we get the cat here next week for Josh? I mean, I don't know if I can handle this.
SmackDown last night.
Somebody call his mama!
We should get the cat on the show.
Make you feel at home.
Yeah.
Somebody get his mama!
Yeah. We do have a winner for the T-shirt contest. Scott Doherty from Philadelphia won. The answer, of course, was Chris Jericho from WrestleMania 19. I knew that.
You know what I like about you?
What's that?
Absolutely nothing.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
So you can just feel the chemistry oozing through your computers.
Oh, you keep the show moving, though. That's very good. That is good.
I try my best. We still, of course, have Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels joining us on the show today. But we do have another trivia question, our second of the day for the Shawn Michaels All Things Are Possible T-shirt. Dr. Tom, would you like to give that a read?
Well, I thought you should read that one.
Okay, here we go. All right. The trivia question is, who did Shawn Michaels defeat for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 12? The first person to email the correct answer, along with their complete name and address, to Bite This at WWE.com, will get a new Shawn Michaels All Things Are Possible T-shirt.
You know who won the Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania 12?
Do I know who won it?
Yes.
Would it be... Did you have anything to do with that?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh. I did read your column this week on the internet.
Yeah, which one?
The new one.
Okay, what's that name?
It was about Jim Cornette. And
well, it was about what to do when you... See, Josh, the problem with you is you don't do enough work over at the studio.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I disagree.
We agree to disagree, though.
That's right, each and every week here on Bite This.
Thank you.
No, I did read your column. You got a nice little picture up on there. It's tremendous. I got through about half of it and meant to come back and read the rest, but I just didn't get a chance to do that.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Can you read?
Yeah, I can read. I've been reading this run sheet throughout the 20 minutes or so that we've been on the air.
Yeah, but you don't do it with enough feeling. Try with a little bass in your voice.
Well,
somebody call my mama! How about that?
I have nightmares with that voice.
What about that?
Every single night.
Josh, I said somebody call my mama, Josh. Josh, you don't know shite.
Before,
is that what it is, too?
Yeah, it's something like that. I think the Body Donnas won that match at WrestleMania 12.
You think, or you're sure? What do you know?
Well, we're going to go to a clip right now of Shawn Michaels. And when we come back after this clip, I will have the answer to Dr. Tom's question from WrestleMania 12. And, of course, Shawn Michaels will be addressing his match at Bad Blood. Shawn Michaels, as we are looking forward to Bad Blood this Sunday from the Compaq Center in Houston, Texas. That's right, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Eric Bischoff present Bad Blood. But right now, joining us on the phone is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn, you're on with Josh Matthews and Dr. Tom. How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting over the stomach flu, and I don't know. I guess I feel okay.
Shawn, you sound like, forgive the expression, but you sound like hell. Yeah, your death warmed over.
Doc.
Yeah, anytime. I want to make you feel good. I'm trying to bring out that self-esteem part thing, man. Hey, but speaking of self-esteem, you got to feel good about the fact this Sunday it's going to be a match I know you've been looking forward to probably your entire career, and even before that, to get in the ring with Ric Flair. And once you finish that match, come back to the locker room, and Flair said it a couple weeks ago, say, hey, follow that.
Yeah, well, I hope I was feeling good about it before this week,
Yeah.
But now after all of this, I'm hoping just to get through it. But no, I'm very happy to be out there with Rick. I've been looking forward to this, as you've said, my entire career, and I think he and I will still put on good 30, 35, good minutes of wrestling. We'll give them a little old school, a little new school, and hopefully when it's all over and done, it'll be something that people will remember for a long time.
Hey, how's your back holding up right now, too? I mean, have you, besides the normal aches and pains, is it giving you any extra trouble?
No, actually, it's been holding up pretty good. I was concerned about it flying over to Europe and stuff, but I managed to get one of those exit rows and lie on the floor on our charter plane. So I mean, it's been holding up really nice. I take better care of it now than I used to, and that helps a lot. I get massages on a regular basis. I stretch out on a regular basis. So, considering everything I've put my body through, it's holding up really well.
Well, we can't wait to see you and Ric Flair go at it at Bad Blood this Sunday. But, Shawn, if we could change gears real fast, tell us about the fundraisers you've got coming up for the families of the soldiers killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah,
well, that was just something everybody knows that I grew up in a military family, and I was talking with Phil about it yesterday. I was just I'm a big Fox News watcher, and I saw Clint Black on there, and they were talking about raising money for some of the families of the soldiers killed in the war, and I thought we could do something like that. So I just called a buddy of mine, Rich Menzer, out in L.A., and asked him if he could talk to some folks in the office for me and see if we could get some guys together to do something to raise some money. Other than your just same old little autograph session with a couple big names, and then a lot of, I don't know, I don't mean to be critical of anybody, but I wanted to get our main guys out there. To get all those guys in the same room signing autographs is hard to do. So we try to get Austin, Goldberg, Hunter, Kevin, Flair, myself, Trish, and have them put together a decent little poster and do those for like 5 different cities over the next month or so we can raise money and send it to these families.
Very good, and a very worthy cause. That goes without mentioning. Let's go now to a phone call here. We have Stephanie calling from Toledo, Ohio. Stephanie, what is your question for the Heartbreak Kid? Stephanie, are you there? Hello.
Steph?
Well, apparently Stephanie is she there? No?
Hello?
Hey, Stephanie, what's your question for Shawn?
I just want to know how he felt about his best friend going into the Hell in the Cell.
What was that? I didn't hear the question.
How do you feel about Kevin Nash, yourself a superstar that was in a Hell in a Cell match? How do you feel about Kevin Nash and Triple H? What are they in store for in the Hell in the Cell this Sunday?
Oh, I think it's going to be brutal, and then you add Mick Foley into the mix as special referee. I think like every cell match, you're going to see something that you haven't seen before. Every time somebody has one of those matches, it sort of ups the bar, and I think this one is going to be no exception.
Hey, Shawn, let me ask you real quick. How does it feel coming back after the layoff and you have the chance to work with your former friends and clique members such as Triple H, Kevin Nash, and, of course, I guess the only one missing now would be X-Pac. It's got to make you feel good to come back and still be able to get in that mix. But, I mean, how is it working out for you back in the locker room as well and on the road?
I think it's fun. I mean, it's fun obviously to be with your friends, but again, one of the most enjoyable programs I was in was with Chris Jericho, and I didn't know Chris before that, and that was a lot of fun for me. It was a lot of fun getting to know him, and there are a lot of good guys in that locker room, and I've taken it's taken me probably this whole last year, to really get to know some of them better than just first name basis. And I agree. We've got a good locker room. We got a good bunch of young guys in there. Everybody's heart seems to be in the right place. Now it's just a matter of all of us. And I got to tell you, I don't think it's the locker room's problem. It's higher up than that. It's getting us all a main goal. There's a lot of talent in there. We all just need to know what we're trying to accomplish, and I think that locker room could do it.
Very good. We got lots of email questions here. What do you say we pick one out here?
Yeah,
An email from Deborah of Glasgow, Scotland. Would you want your son Cameron to follow your career choice of wrestling when he is older?
My son's 3.5. Right now, the neatest, coolest thing in the world to him is a guy that can ride a bulldozer. And what daddy? He doesn't even know what daddy does, nor does he care. I want my son to do whatever his little heart desires. And right now, his heart is getting dirty and driving around his little Power Wheels pickup truck and his bulldozer. And I don't know. I think I'll worry about that. I got some time to worry about that.
Right. A couple years ago, you had the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy in San Antonio, and I know a couple of young men came out of that you've got to be proud of. One of them would be Spanky, who is on the roster right now. Any thoughts on how Spanky's been doing so far?
Yeah, well, I get regular updates, and aside from his talent, which I knew was there, I knew they would just love his attitude and his personality. He's just a fantastic young man, and that's the first thing everybody comments about when they talk about him, and that really is, Brian could go out there and just be himself, and the entire world would love him. He's a very special young man, and he's very good at what he does, and he's out there, having fun. He loves to wrestle. He loves to go out there and perform in front of the people, and what you're seeing out of him right now is who he is, and I'm very happy for him, because he's very deserving of where he's at.
Very cool. Any chance of a HBK biography coming out?
You know what? Somebody actually mentioned that. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to do it. I have to, because part of me wants to be honest and upfront, and give a very truthful account of what happened in my life and in my career. But then you also, I mean, for me, I think to myself that I have a child, and I don't know at what point, I don't know where that goes. I don't know where honesty runs up against
protecting
the whole world. People walking up to my son someday and commenting on what his dad did. So it's one of those things that I want to be able to. I have to find what line it is I'm willing to walk with that, because there's some things I want to, tell my son myself. You know what I mean? I don't want some stranger on the street telling him. So I don't know. I mean, I do want to do one, but what I put in it is still up for debate.
Very good. Let's go to the telephone now. We have a call from Bethany from Connecticut. Bethany, what is your your question for Shawn Michaels?
Hi, I was just wondering if it was true that you're going to retire WrestleMania 20?
If I'm going to be doing what?
Retiring at WrestleMania 20?
Oh, if I'm going to be retiring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any plans to retire right now, but for what it's worth, I didn't have any plans to retire the first time. I think that's a decision that, I don't have any plans. I guess the answer to your question is no, it's not true. Barring something physically really going wrong with my career, I'm gonna stick around as long as they'll let me now.
Well,
okay,
Shawn,
good. Because I just want to let you know that I'm one of your biggest fans, and I love you so much. And ever since the first time I saw you 8 years ago, I wanted to meet you, and that's my goal in life. But yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, Shawn, I think you've accomplished, I'm going out on a limb here, but I would think that you've accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish with your career here in World Wrestling Entertainment. Now that you've come back and you've turned your life around, obviously you would have a lot of advice and a lot of experiences that you could share with the younger talent and the younger guys coming up. Some of the mistakes you made, some of the right moves you made. Could you see yourself after WrestleMania 20 possibly even going in as an agent capacity?
Oh yeah, I mean, this company is is a company that I'm committed to, and this business is obviously something I'm committed to. This is, I like a lot of guys, I guess, went through this thing where you think to yourself, I'm more than just a wrestler. You know what? I'm not. I'm very proud that that's what I am. I'm a wrestler. This is what I do for a living. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to a point in time when whomever, myself or even the office, and I'm certainly humbled enough to accept that that there comes the point to where someone says, you know what, you've done all you can do. We'd like you to step aside. I would definitely do that, and if there was any way I could contribute to the WWE, I would do it. I'd be honored to have any kind of job they wanted to give me. And that was my intention of coming back the first time, was to contribute, and that's still my intention now. Whenever it is they feel like I've given as much as I can from a performance standpoint, I'd love to contribute from a mental or a creative standpoint.
Cool. Shawn, getting back to Bad Blood, this is the first Raw exclusive pay-per-view. How do you feel the brand split's gone so far? And will Bad Blood be kind of like a measuring stick for the rest of the brand exclusive pay-per-views?
Well, I imagine it will be. I suppose the only way to find out how it's going to work is to get out there and do it. I think that, I don't know. I don't really have anything to compare it to as far as whether it's worked or it hasn't. I do think that you have to have two separate, because, geez, there's so many guys. It's hard enough for the guys on Raw, a lot of the younger talents, to get time on that show. So I can't imagine trying to jam everybody into one show. So from that perspective, I definitely think it's working. I think there's always room for improvement. I'll be honest, I don't know what it is, but I think the powers that be will continue to try to be innovative and think of new ways to get the talent out there.
Well, obviously, it's one of those things that remains to be seen, but I think all the guys and girls on the Raw crew will put out 100% and do everything they can to make this a successful card, which I'm sure it will be, with all the action on the card, from the Hell in the Cell to the Heartbreak Kid versus Ric Flair. And, of course, being in Texas, Shawn, it's got to be a special feeling for you to go back. Have you run into a lot of people back home, now that you've come back on WWE TV, who have questioned your faith, questioned your sincerity, why you're, you do wear the Christian shirts, you wear you pretty much wear it on your sleeve. Have a lot of people back home had negative or positive comments for you?
No, I haven't run into anybody that's had anything but positive feedback of that. Because they know that there are other wrestlers that are Christian but aren't as outgoing about it as I am. So I think that they appreciate that. But no, I haven't run into anybody that that has knocked me. I mean, other than people that knock me for just knocking me anyway.
Right, right. I was going to say, you're probably going to hear that the rest of your life, asking, and it's something you're probably going to have to just let it be and let people see how it is, huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, I stated that, way back when I first came back, is that I understand, I understand people's reservations or whatever. I mean, it's really not about, it's not about me, and I'm aware of that, and I have no problem with people. I really don't. I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say, and I accept that. And you know, the people that enjoy it, I'm glad they do, and the people that don't, I'm sorry they don't.
Right, right. Well, Shawn, listen, we're going to let you get back to enjoying your weekend. Best of luck at Bad Blood this Sunday with your match against Ric Flair, Battle of Legends. I know we're all looking forward to it, so thanks for joining us here on Bite This, and we'll see you this Sunday at Bad Blood.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Hey,
bye-bye.
Very good. Hey, sexy woman, you ever had a, like, real man?
What are you
Just
talking-
asking.
What?
Sexy woman, right here.
Tom, you... Oh, that's not right.
Well, that's not right either, is it?
No,
Matt
I think all these
WWE.
guys should just get
All right,
kicked out
thank
of the
you.
chat room. They're all
Yeah,
12.
it doesn't matter. Hey, listen. Bad Blood,
Yeah.
I've got to agree. I think it's going to be an outstanding card. I think it's going to be an outstanding event. For my own money, I can't wait to see the Hell in the Cell.
Can't wait for the whole thing. Can't wait for the Redneck Triathlon. Hell in the Cell's going to be awesome, I think. I can't wait for Mick Foley to be the special referee.
Are you going to, like, eat some pie in Houston?
You know, I'm going to try my
Are
best.
you going to the bar with Michael Cole?
We got
Did you
another-
hear what Cena said last night about him?
I did. It was really funny.
Yeah. Is that true? You guys going to go jogging on Galveston Island? Holding hands?
Well, we do like
Just
to jog.
curious.
We do like to jog when we're in,
Woo!
all over. Got
Yes,
some
you
time
do.
to ourselves.
All
Jog
right.
and go to the gym. We like to stay in shape, Dr. Tom. Question
saying.
number 2. The T-shirt winner was Hal. I need some help with this name.
Dworkis.
Dworkis.
Yeah,
From the
sure.
Bronx in New York, representing, getting the Shawn Michaels T-shirt. But now we have our third and final
Represent-
question, I think, here, the Shawn Michaels trivia question. Shawn Michaels was part of the first ever Hell in a Cell match. Who was his opponent? The first person to email the correct answer along with their complete name and address to bitethis@wwe.com will get a
That's
new
too
Shawn
easy.
Michaels All Things Are Possible t-shirt. Let's see how easy it is, Dr. Tom. Let's
Yeah,
see,
let's see how
who,
easy it is.
who gets the correct answer. We'll be coming back. Chris Jericho is still going to join us. Oh, the answer to question number 2, of course, was Bret the Hitman Hart.
Sure.
But anyway, Chris Jericho is still going to join us here on Bite This, and can't wait to talk to Chris Jericho about all this. I got thrown off with the Bret Hart thing. I had no idea what I was going to say next anyway.
Obviously not
No,
good.
call us on the phone at 1-888-8 Live WWE. If you have any questions, of course, for Chris Jericho, and we're taking questions in the chat room at WWE. Where is it at?
Yeah, whatever.
Hold on a second. I'll Bite This at WWE.
Sure. Boy, you are a prepared
.com.
host. Do you open Michael Cole's door for him? Do you open his door?
I am completely prepared for Bite This, as you
Yes,
can see.
you
This
are.
I prepared all day.
Yeah.
I took a good nap, and I'm fully prepared.
So what do
for
you
this
do
show.
at the studio, man? What do you have a desk for?
Because I got lots of business things to
Like
attend
what?
to.
Share with us one business thing
there's-
you've done today besides sleep.
There's not enough time in the day.
Oh, there's plenty of time, man.
There's
We're still
not.
waiting on Jericho.
There's not enough time in the day. I want to take a look now of a clip
Yeah,
from Chris
that's what I
Jericho
thought.
from 3 weeks ago
You
on
and
Raw.
Michael Cole probably.
No, we're going to take a look now. Chris Jericho. This
Oh.
is 3 weeks ago on Raw.
like
Y2J,
Raw.
Chris Jericho.
Yes.
The record, Dr. Tom, I love the highlight reel with Chris Jericho.
I do too,
It's one of my
man.
favorite parts of Raw.
I
each and every
like
week.
the highlight reel because the sincerity, the passion,
Yeah.
the fire comes through in Chris Jericho. I like it when he
Well,
talks
guess
like
what,
that,
Dr.
man.
Tom?
What, Josh?
Joining us on the phone right now is Chris Jericho.
All right, man.
Chris, you're on the phone with Josh Matthews and Dr. Tom. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing just fine and dandy. It's always a pleasure to talk to Dr. Tom Pritchard, one of my all-time favorite characters in the pro wrestling business.
Thank you very much, Chris. The feeling is mutual, and I've got to say this right off the bat. When I heard you talk about Goldberg the way you did on the highlight reel, to me, that was that fire, that's something that you're getting off your chest in front of the public, in front of not only the wrestling fans, but for everybody in earshot, to let everyone know exactly how you really feel about Goldberg. And I've got to say, this Sunday at Bad Blood, it's truly going to be, I think, a wrestling lesson for Bill Goldberg, and I think it's going to be a lesson in what you should and shouldn't do in the ring. You know what I'm trying to say here?
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, Tom, this is, in all seriousness, this is a match that's been brewing for about 5 years, ever since I started in WCW, and Goldberg was there as well. And, I mean, it's something that the longtime fans of WCW and of Chris Jericho and of Goldberg have been clamoring to see for a long time, and also in the build-up over the last 3 or 4 weeks on Raw, that I think a lot of people are very interested in seeing what's going to happen with this match. And let's face it, we haven't really seen Goldberg wrestle. We saw him wrestle once against The Rock on the pay-per-view, and there's been a couple short squash matches ever since, but I don't think he's ever been tested the way he's going to be tested this Sunday and put through the paces the way that he's going to be put through the paces this Sunday as well.
Chris,
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is it taking so long for you and Goldberg to actually have a match? And we're all looking forward to it this Sunday at Bad Blood, but why is it taking so long? When you guys spent time in WCW together, and now here in the WWE, and now finally this match is going to happen, and you said it's been 5 years. Why so long?
First of all, Matthews, you call me Mr. Jericho. I don't know you. I don't know who the hell you are. I don't know what you've done. Just because you're on Tough Enough, that means nothing to me. You call me Mr. Jericho with a cherry on top. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now call me Mr. Jericho with a cherry on top.
Mr. Jericho with a cherry on top. Same question.
Okay. Basically, I think pretty much politics, just like I said on the highlight reel. There was a lot of anticipation between a match of Goldberg and Jericho, but for whatever reason, it never took place. The WCW brass at the time didn't think Chris Jericho was ready to have a real match with Goldberg. I think Goldberg felt the same way. I think they were the only people that did, because I know the fans wanted to see it, and I know that I wanted to see it, and I knew that I could carry Goldberg to a great performance and a great showing. I think you're finally going to get to see that 3 years after the fact, 4 years after the fact. I'm even more capable of doing that and more ready to do that. And I mean, for the people who think that, oh, I don't have a chance against Goldberg, I'm sure there's many people that thought I didn't have a chance of beating The Rock and Steve Austin the same night to become the first undisputed champion. So that's probably more of that 81% that voted on WWE.com that I was going to get speared by Goldberg 2 weeks ago in San Diego. I know you were one of them, Matthews, but it didn't happen, and it's not going to happen at Bad Blood on Sunday either. I'm too smart for this blathering, screaming, grunting Neanderthal.
You know, I think that's what everybody can sense and feel, especially whenever you have the opportunity to speak your mind about Goldberg. And a lot of our fans on the internet realize that this has been brewing for the past 5 years. And we talked to you when you first came to WWE and explained about how the politics and how things worked at WCW. And this was part of the reason, a huge reason, when you came over here, you proved that you were worth your salt and you were capable of being a headliner, a main event, top-tier guy. Here comes a guy like Goldberg thinking he is in your league, and I think this Sunday at Bad Blood, everyone's going to find out. And I think this, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but this is going to be something, I think, not only as a professional gratification to you, but you've got to get a lot of personal satisfaction out of the fact that you have him in a main event or in a main match at Bad Blood.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a spot I've been in for the last 2 years or so, and I mean, like I said, I think it's a great opportunity to see what Goldberg's all about and see what he's made of. We haven't really seen much of Goldberg, and I think a lot of people don't really know about Goldberg's domination in WCW and the winning streak that he had, which really made the name for himself. I mean, he had like 175 wins in a row or whatever it was. And so everybody knew Goldberg, knew what he was all about, knew what he can do. And a lot of people in the WWE, a lot of fans of the WWE have never seen that side of Goldberg before. They don't know his story, and they don't really know what he's all about, and they don't really know, most important of all, if he can wrestle a good match. And I think we're going to find that out on Sunday, and I think a lot of people are going to find out, like I said, what Goldberg is really made of.
I definitely can't wait to see the match between Mr. Jericho, of course, and
with the cherry on top.
With the cherry on top, of
Thank
course,
you.
this Sunday at Bad Blood. But switching topics real fast, Mr. Jericho, did a Fozzy DVD was that just released? Is that just a rumor that's been flying around?
No, we had a limited number of copies of the Fozzy DVD that a friend of mine and myself put together just basically to see if we could do it. And we actually we produced it ourselves, created it ourselves, we engineered it ourselves, and basically made a 3-hour, like I said, Fozzy retrospective DVD with, you know, performances and videos and backstage stuff, live things, the movie that we did, and it did so well. It sold out right off the bat. The initial pressing was sold out right away, so they're now kind of like collector's items, and we're now working on our second DVD because the first one went over so well. So it's kind of, like I said, something that we basically created in our own houses just to see if we could do it, because I'm a huge rock star and a complete computer genius now.
Very good. Very, very good. Yeah. When is Fozzy going to be touring again? When can we look forward to them coming here to Stamford, Connecticut, so I can come and see Fozzy?
We have another show, part of the Fozzy Summer Foz Fest, in Cleveland on the 26th of June. It's upcoming. As a matter of fact, Phil Spear, you can put that on the WWE website if you get a chance. And if you want more information on it, you can always go to FozzieRock.com. And we play as many gigs as we can. Like I said, the next one coming up is June 26th in Cleveland. So hello, Cleveland!
All right.
All of the Cleveland Fozzie fanatics can come and rock out with us as we continue our quest to become the next inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which incidentally is in Cleveland. So.
Cool. Let's go to the phone call now. We have a phone call from Morgan calling from Virginia. Morgan, you're on the phone with Chris Jericho. What is your question?
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering, since lately a lot of superstars have been cutting their hair, I was wondering if Chris had planned to do that too.
I'm not really too sure. My hair is like the longest it's ever been right now, and I'm kind of just letting it grow as long as I can. I probably will eventually cut it one of these days, but when I do, it'll be my decision, and it'll be I'll look even cooler. So I'll make sure to do it the right way. I won't end up with one of those nerd haircuts that Christian and Test have.
Yeah, that's tough, man, to let go of the hair. Very.
You know what, Tom? You went through it before, man.
Yeah.
You went through it.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. It's like losing an old friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, we have an email question from Vicky from England. She wants to know, we've heard Edge's version and the Hardys' version of the snowbank wrestling during the snowstorm in Baltimore. What's your version?
Well, yeah, I basically heard about Edge reporting on that. That's basically what happened. I mean, we were stuck in Baltimore. There was a huge snowstorm, and whenever there's wrestlers with a day off in a snowstorm with nothing else to do, you just go get drunk. So that's basically what we did. And it was one of those things where, like, everything was just closed. There was nowhere to eat. There was nothing to do. And I think we walked probably about 15 or 20 miles, not 15 or 20 minutes, not 15 or 20 miles, but 15 or 20 minutes through the snow to, like, I think there was a Sheraton that had, like, a restaurant open. And then we just sat there and basically drank all the wine in the place and then went on to the Microtel where all the Hardys were. And then basically that's what happened. There was we were grappling in the room and having wrestling matches in the room, which I made Lita submit. Which I was very proud of.
Very nice.
And then, somehow the window came open and the screen popped off, and next thing I knew, Edge had jumped out the window into the snowbank. So that proceeded to have like a lineup of epic proportions for people wanting to jump out the window into the snow. So it was actually pretty fun. It was a good way to pass the time in the middle of the crazy snowstorm in Baltimore. So thank you, Microtel. They'll probably never let us stay there again.
God, well. Hopefully not.
Mr. Jericho, getting back
with a cherry on top, Josh.
Forgetting, man. Who the hell? Yeah.
That's right. My bad. My bad.
Punks.
Getting back to Bad Blood, do you feel that there's any extra pressure on you to perform? That this is the first Raw only pay-per-view?
Well, I mean, I don't care if it's Raw only, pay-per-view, SmackDown only, Velocity only, Afterburn only. Every time I go in the ring, there's a pressure for me to perform. Because that's my job, and it doesn't matter what show it is. I mean, obviously with the Raw brand pay-per-view, this is the two separate companies, or whatever you want to call them, standing on their own 2 feet. And since I'm a big part of the Raw company, it's my job to go out there and kick as much ass as possible and put on the best match that I can to get people who bought the show to enjoy it, and for people who didn't buy the show to wish they had. So. It's a big honor to be on any pay-per-view, but to have such a prominent spot on the first Raw pay-per-view, obviously it's a huge honor.
Sweet. Let's go now to a phone call. We have Nigel calling from Georgia. Nigel, you're on the phone with Mr. Chris Jericho. What's your question?
Well, I wanted to ask the King of the World. By the way, hey, Jericho, how's it going?
I'm doing great, man.
Glad to talk to you. You're an inspiration to me. But I just wanted to ask you, after being held back in WCW for so long, being the superstar that you are, what was it like defeating Stone Cold and The Rock the same night to become the undisputed champion?
Well, it was like winning an Oscar. As an actor, you win the Oscar for Best Actor. It makes you, it's like a pat on the back for the entire industry, and that's what it was like to be the first undisputed champion. It was a pat on the back, a job well done, and something that can never be taken away, and it's something that can never be duplicated. So. I mean, no matter what else happens in the rest of my career, I was a world champion, and I was the first, undisputed world champion. So that's a huge honor. Like I said, it's a huge pat on the back from the fans, from the office, and for myself on the job well done on for my whole career basically. And I mean, and then ever since I lost the championship, that doesn't mean that I stopped having that attitude. I mean, it was still a great honor, and I go out there every night with the honor, or with the the mindset that I'm going to make sure that was the right decision to, give me that first undisputed championship reign, and to make sure that for the rest of my career I make it the right decision, which
Chris,
I think I've done.
Chris, I think that attitude has followed you, and it started early on in your career. Some people know and some people don't about the fact early on in your career when you were in Knoxville, Tennessee, and you went out and tried to work on a move, practice on I think it was a shooting star press, and broke your arm, went to the hospital, and came back and still did a match.
Yeah.
And that followed you, the dedication, sacrifice, and determination, it followed you all throughout your career, and it wound up, as you said, no one can ever take away the fact that you were the first ever undisputed world champion. And I don't think it could happen to a more deserving professional and person. And I think this Sunday at Bad Blood, another chapter in your career will be written when you get in the ring with Goldberg and carry him to a match that we hope he can have.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, it's a good test for me, and a good test for Goldberg, too. I mean, let's give him some credit as well. I mean, obviously he's going to want to go out there and steal the show as well. And, I mean, like I said, this is something that is very rare in wrestling. Not very rare, but sometimes you have angles, and then you have angles that have a real life, tint to them. And this is definitely a feud that's based in a lot of real life animosity that's happened between Goldberg and myself. And not to get into it, but if obviously this is an internet show, so the internet fans know all the stuff that's gone on between the two of us. And this is the real deal. Both of us want to go out there and prove who the better man is, and also go out there and prove that this match is one that we've both been waiting for a long time, especially me, and I want to make sure that people know that it was worth waiting for.
No doubt. Mr. Jericho, with the cherry on top, of course. I got to ask you before we let you go, how do you feel about sooner or later we're going to see the debut of Ultimo Dragon? I know you guys have a very storied past. How do you feel that Ultimo is going to fare here in the WWE?
I think it's great that he's here. I mean, I think he's one of my favorite guys to work against of all time, and one of the best wrestlers of all time. And if the company allows Dragon to do what he can do and give him some good opportunities and some good matches, I think he's going to be more than capable of stealing the show many times. He's a great worker, and more importantly, I'm just glad that he's been able to come back and wrestle again after his injury that happened because of a quack doctor. I'm glad that he didn't have to retire before his time had come. So once again, really looking forward to having him in the company.
Cool, very good. Listen, Mr. Jericho, good luck at Bad Blood this Sunday with Goldberg. We're looking forward to seeing it. All of the fans are as well, and we appreciate you taking time out and joining us here on Bite This Friday afternoon.
Well, thank you. Remember, I am a huge rock star, little Josh Matthews. And Dr. Tom, you are the man. I will talk to you guys later.
Thank you very much. Best of luck to you, and we will see you Sunday.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
That, of course, was Chris Jericho.
Mr. Chris Jericho.
Mr. Chris Jericho, of
with
course, with the cherry on top.
Yes, thank you.
Joining us. The answer to question number 3 was... What was the answer? The Undertaker, and the T-shirt winner was Brian Fields, calling from Oath. What is that? Kansas?
Yeah, that's Kansas. Where'd you go to school, kid?
Not in Kansas. So congratulations to Brian on winning
Jesus, do I have to put up with this
Shawn
every
Michaels
week?
T-shirt.
Somebody call his mama!
We're about, 72 hours away from Bad Blood. Top to bottom, it's going to be a great card. La Resistance versus Rob Van Dam McCain for the World Tag Team Championship. Dr. Tom, real quick, how do you feel about that match?
Real quick, if these guys, La Resistance, old Sly Grenier and Rene Dupree, if they defeat Kane and Rob Van Dam and become the champions, what a coup for France, huh?
No, yeah, absolutely. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line.
Smart ass. I'm wiping you clean when we get off the air.
Booker T looks to capture the Intercontinental Championship in his home state of Texas.
In his hometown.
In his hometown of Houston against Christian. Thoughts?
I got to go with Booker T, man.
Yeah.
He's got the fifth man on his side.
Okay.
Yeah,
Scott Steiner versus Test, the winner getting Stacy Keibler's managerial services.
Well, here's the problem I have with that match and situation altogether. I feel bad for Test because he's just trying to do what's right for Stacy, and she doesn't see everything that's happening right there. And Scott, while he's a great guy and a tremendous athlete, I think Scott's in it for one thing and maybe one thing only.
Battle of the Legends, Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels.
Well, again, we are in Texas, and it's Shawn Michaels' home state this time. It's not his hometown.
Right.
San Antonio would be his hometown.
Right.
With a cherry on top.
Right.
And the fact is that I think Ric Flair has a tremendous match left in him. I just think that Shawn Michaels is going to be that little bit better. But then again, with the stomach flu coming off it, I got to give the edge to Flair.
Wow. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Eric Bischoff, the co-general managers of Raw, will go at it in a redneck triathlon. We know they're going to have a pie eating contest.
Poontang pie.
A poontang pie eating contest. What else can these two guys possibly do?
I don't know, roll around in the mud.
That's a redneck thing to do?
Maybe. Just spit in each other's mouth.
Okay, Chris Jericho versus Goldberg.
Cuddle.
We heard from Chris Jericho. Who's going to win that match?
Look, Chris Jericho means it when he says this is a real deal, folks. And I believe that Chris Jericho is going to lobby and do everything he can to make sure that Goldberg has a good match. And I think if that happens alone, Chris Jericho's won.
All right, the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. This time it's Hell in a Cell. Triple H versus Kevin Nash. Of course, the guest referee is Mick Foley.
Well, you see, here's the element with Mick Foley that I'm looking at. Mick is one of those guys that, regardless of how long he's been away from WWE, he still has that fire, and he still believes that he's been maligned by people in the past. Mm-hmm. And I think that Triple H realizes he's in there against not just one guy, but he's in there against two guys, in Mick Foley and, of course, Kevin Nash. Who's going to walk out victorious? Triple H is a tremendous champion. Triple H knows how to play the game. But Kevin Nash and Mick Foley, I think, have a score to settle.
Well, there you have it from Dr. Tom. For the record, my picks are Triple H, Chris Jericho, Stone Cold over Eric Bischoff in the Redneck Triathlon, HBK over Ric Flair, Test over Scott Steiner, Booker T over Christian, and La Resistance for the upset over Rob Van Dam and Kane.
Blew me.
Those are my tape.
Those
are my picks. Of course, this Sunday not only is Bad Blood, but it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to my dad.
Are you a father?
Dr. No, well, maybe I am. I don't know
Are
about
you
yet.
a mother?
Dr. Tom, I know you'll be getting to spend some time with your parents this weekend.
Yes, I will.
Here on Bite This. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, especially mine and Dr. Tom's. And next Thursday, we will be live for Bite This at 4 p.m.
Thursday
Eastern.
or Friday?
Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific.
We
so
sure?
we'll see you all at Bad Blood.